We have another storyteller coming up here, and her name is Sylvia and Soares. And Sylvia is second generation Cape Verdean, as I am also. And Sylvia is an actor, a writer, a community activist, and she has a story about Cape Verdean, a Cape Verdean woman, we say Cape Verde, Cape Verdean woman holding her family together. Let's welcome Sylvia and Soares.
Thank you, Lenny. Oh my God, look at all these. I can even see your beautiful eyes with masks on. Your smiling eyes, everybody looks so happy. I'm so happy, I feel so good being here. Thank you for having me, thank you for coming. Thank you for this family, this Funda family. And Funda we learn, and we have fun learning. So, let me see, let's go. Okay, well, my name, as he said, is Sylvia Ann. I am named after my grandmother, who's Sylvania. So when I do stories, sometimes I say, Nya Sylvania, Stali. Here I am, Nya Sylvania. All my grandparents came from the Cape Verde Islands, all of them. And that is an ethnicity that was started by the Portuguese slave trade when slave owners mixed with the captives, and eventually that was our ethnicity, Cape Verdean, and more. We have more mixture. As a matter of fact, my DNA has told me that I have my African, but I also have pretty much equal amounts of Portuguese and Spanish. How about that? Okay, so that's a lot of fun for me. Talk about gumbo and cachupa and everything else. So let's get into this. Well, Cabo Verde is a string of islands that's off the northwest coast of Africa, off Senegal, about 400 miles in the ocean. There it is. Now, one of those islands is Sao Nicolau. And on the southern coast of Sao Nicolau is the town of Tarrafal. And you can hear with all these islands, the ocean roar coming in, the waves slapping against one another, and whoosh, over onto the beach. And then if you're there, if you look over past the town of Tarrafal, you see, whoa, going up, mountain, dark, foreboding mountain, a mile high. And at the top of that mountain, wide, 6 miles wide. And that is Monte Gordo. And up there, inside that mountain, inside Monte Gordo, is a town called Covada. And there, Lucia sells fish in the mountains. Yeah, well, it is morning, and Lucia, she races down the beach towards the shore and to the fishing boats that are on and there were men standing in there, and the man says, no, you're too late. Catene mas, we got no more. You're too late. Well, disappointed, Lucia pays him, and he gets a few small remaining fish. He drops into this pink basin, plastic basin that she has. Japan and Spain have had fishing rights for decades. And so very often, there's not enough for the Creole fishermen to catch, and that's their livelihood. Well, Lucia must bring fish to Covada. She must go and bring fish to Covada. So she races past the boys playing soccer on the beach. Their school is in the afternoon, okay? And she goes into a neighborhood square. And there were many women sitting there. They're all mixed match colors and colorful and kerchiefs on their heads. And they're selling fruit, vegetables, plants, seeds, all kinds of, and something you might need that you never thought you need. Little kids, they're sitting, learning from their entrepreneurial mothers, and some little girls are getting their hair braided, and then somewhere there's a little old lady puffing on her pipe, you know. So there's a woman, a big woman, and she is selling fish. Custa, Lucia asked the woman, 200 escudos. Well, no, that's far more than the fishermen charge. 200 escudos. I got a family. I got, 5 meninos. I got my mother. I got my father. I got everybody. I sell you 200. You sell it 250 and make a profit. Well, okay. So Lucia buys 10 kilos, and that's 22 pounds. $30. But it's for her people up in Covada, so she's fine. She buys it, and then she takes the fish, and she goes home, and it's too late today, of course. So she puts the fish in the freezer, and she's going to come back tomorrow. Well, early the next morning, Lucia, she hitches a ride to the base of the mountain. You see, cars cannot go up these trails. They're only allowed are animals, carts, people walking, and these, paths, well, some of them are like 10 feet wide, and they have on one side or the other, or maybe not at all, or both, the walls maybe 3 or 6 feet high, round, hand-hewn stones. These walls that people have made years ago. And if you're going to Covada, 9 miles one way. 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Round trip, 18 miles, 8 hours. Lucia does this 3 times a week. Okay, so with her pink plastic basin on her head full of her 22 pounds of fish, she starts up the dusty path in flip-flops. So early on, she greets people, she passes people. Somebody's carrying a mattress on their back. Some people are carrying household goods on their heads. And she passes, goes way far beyond them. Now, narrower up, the path's narrowing, and some of them have no walls on the side, and some of them, there's a patch of those stone walls, a little patch here and there against the wall to keep the dirt from sliding down of these old paths, and you slide you off the mountain. No. Well, Lucia struggles up her, the hilly, and she's like, oh, life is difficult. Difficult, vida difícil. I'm working myself to death, walking. Yeah, but Covada's my village, my home village. And they're way up in the mountains, and they need fresh fish, too. Yeah. My children, he died young, and, I must sell fish to feed them. Well, I just pray today that my earnings can get me 1 kilo. 1 kilo, maybe. Sometimes only half a kilo. What's half a kilo? Half a kilo is 1 pound. 1 kilo is 2 pounds, maybe. Well, she's hoping. So she's, yeah. I left for Tarrafal when I was 22, and now I'm 40. And she puts her basin down and keeps a bottle of water hanging by her side. Agua. Yeah. I must stay strong. Molto forte. So she presses on for 2 hours and reaches a peak where she can see over into Covada, all these hills and everything. She can see way over there. Now, look. While most of Sao Nicolau is drought, subject to drought, up here, there's greenery. There's greenery, and it's carpeted with greenery on the craggy hillsides, and she gazes, long view towards Covada, and then there's 2 more hours to get there, down, up and down, around. the dangerous curves and here and there. So, oh no, I need more water. Oh, agora também já now. Now I gotta pee, you know. Well, now, you know, who do you think would settle Covada way up there inside the mountain? Quem sabe? Nobody has been able to tell me. My mind, there's a legend. Lenny knows a legend. Badu. Badu. The legend was it was this big black man who was a bad guy and a good guy. And the truth is that when the Portuguese enslavers went through the Cape Verde Islands, they were fearing mutiny when they crossed the Atlantic, so they took off the brave, rebellious Africans and left them there. And these Africans escaped into the hills, and they took African relatives and Creoles with them, and they came down from the hills and they raided the landowners, the slave owners' farms and whatnot, which is why they were supposed to be so bad. Huh? Well, how did they get there? Were these descendants of, in Covada, these people of Covada, were they descendants of Badu? I don't know. I don't know. I like to think I am. Well, she descends into Covada. It's a long, steep, down and around. My grandchild, she needs a uniform. Yeah, but I don't bring expensive fish up here to my people to make any real money. You know, so Covada's my home village. So finally, she begins her chant as she moves through the village. Buy fish, the fresh fish. Buy fresh. Compra peixe, peixe fresco. Compra peixe. So she approaches the women. There's a women and children sitting there. And she goes, Bon dia, Lucia. Bon dia, como está? Oh, peixe, peixe. Oi, bom. Lindo peixe, lindo. Beautiful fish, beautiful fish. How much? 200 escudos. Ah, bon, yeah. So she makes a sale and thanks everybody and moves on to the next people. And she, a little ways down there, she gets to a woman holding a child. She tells the women how much it costs. And the woman, molto caro. I don't have the money. I don't. Well, 200 escudos. 200 escudos. That's what she bought it for, 200 escudos. Well, there's no profit there. But the woman is very grateful. Oh, muito obrigado, Lucia. Thank you so much. Deus dá benção. God will bless you. Thank you. Yeah. Then she moves along. She makes a couple of more sales, 250 escudos for each sale. And then she gets to, oh, yeah, there's a little old woman, that little old woman. And she goes up to the little old woman. Minha senhora, como está? Como está, minha senhora? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Como está? You know, tiene dor na corpo. My back is killing me. I got it. Oh, Lucia, she sits to listen to a whole litany of aches and pains. And then finally the woman asks her, Custa, how much does it cost today? 200 escudos, senora. Oh no, não tem insufficiente. I don't have enough money. Well, how much do you have? And the woman shows 100 escudos. Ah, bon, Ña Señora. Oh, thank you so much, Ña Señora. This is very good. And may God bless you and keep you well. And she keeps it. And, you know, Lucia drops an extra little needlefish in the old woman's bag. Sometimes she gets a little tip from some other people as she has made such a hard journey. And she gets to a friend of hers and she says, I need to buy some matches. I can't even light a candle to say a prayer. To say a prayer. Well, at last, Lucia arrives at her elderly mother's house. And the house is mottled, stucco. It used to be white. Lucia's mother was born there. Lucia was born there. Lucia's mother does not speak English. She only speaks Creole. And she is very ill. And so, mamãe, mamãe, bom dia, meu filho está ali. Here I am, your daughter. Oh, ai, minha filha está bem todo dia. My daughter's here. She comes every day. No, I don't. Not that long trip, I don't. So, she says, what's your name? Cambono? Lucia, mamãe. Lucia. Ay, yeah, Lucia de Tarrafal. I know. Yeah. So they go in, Lucia pulls the cloth off the basin and says, I saved the best fish for you. And we can have fish stew with bobra, that's squash, mandioca, that's manioc root. What else could you put in there? Green bananas, banana verde, oh, and a bunch of other things that they grow there, the terraced gardens up there in Covada. So they have this, and so they go inside this simple house, and Lucia is cooking and cleaning up and tidying up, and they're having a bunch of fun laughing, and what's your name? Lucia, Mama. Lucia de Tarrafal. I know. And at some point, Lucia does what she has done many times. And she, mamãe, ben viva com me. Come and live with me. I? Essa é minha casa, ligou. This is my house. Me filho também ligou, vive comigo. My daughter's coming here to live with me. She's around here somewhere. What's your name? Lucia, mamãe. And, hey, Lucia de Tarrafal. I know. Well, finally, it's sweet time has come to an end, and she must leave. Gives mother a kiss, hug and kiss on both cheeks, and fazer de novo, do that again. Yeah, and she does. But it's time to go, And the village women assure her, Nos cresceu de bumai. We love your mother. We're going to take good care of her. We always do. Don't worry about that. So now a long 2-hour climb away back, going back down the hills. And at one peak, Lucia looks over and she sees that beautiful big blue ocean. She's weary, but the wave, the beautiful wave of air, the breeze that comes, fills her lungs and lifts her spirits. She's happy, fica contente. Today, she made enough to buy 2 pounds of rice and a little bit more. Oh, Deus Oh, Deus, muito obrigada. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for everything, for my earnings, for my mother, keep my mother safe, for my people in my village, for agua. And then Lucia continues, for the remaining 2-hour, 4.5-mile trip back down to Tarrafal, the seaside town on the southern coast of the Isle of Sao Nicolau in Cabo Verde. That's it. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Give it up one more time for the lovely Sylvia Soares. Thank you very much for that lovely story from Cabo Verde.
Yeah.
I love it, love it. Give it one more time, please.